And then about immigration, the U.S. government is now reportedly spending $60 million a week to shelter migrant children. That adds up to $3.1 billion in a year. Where is that money coming from?
Well, first I would say that, as you may recall, the prior administration requested and received nearly $3 billion in supplemental funding from Congress for the UC program back in 2019. That came after the previous administration had already made multiple transfers of hundreds of millions of dollars. And our commitment is to ensuring HHS has the funds it needs now to safely and humanely care for children, which of course is resource intensive. We know that. There are 200 permanent shelters around the country, and there are needs related to the pandemic, social distancing, enhanced ventilation and testing that are additional needs given the time that we're living in.
And because of the time that we're living in, is there concern if this is HHS money that it is, that these shelters, the Washington Post says the costs are going to rise significantly, that the shelters might be draining pandemic response elsewhere?
No, that is not what our concern is. At all. We have funding for the pandemic response. I'm just conveying to you what we feel this cost is and why it is at the rate it is at this point in time.
And then just one more. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says that he asked the Biden administration to shut down the temporary shelter for migrant kids at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio because he says he has gotten information that children there are being sexually assaulted. Is that facility going to be shut down?
Well, first, we take safety and the well-being of children in our care very seriously, hence our earlier conversation about the funding spent to keep them safe during the pandemic. His claims will be looked into and investigated by the Department of Health and Human Services. Currently, we have no basis for his call to shut down the San Antonio Freeman Coliseum as an intake site, but we will, of course, we take these allegations seriously, and they will be investigated.
The last one would just be, you said this week that you guys are trying to make the processing more efficient and effective, and that you're addressing this in a humane way that keeps these kids as safe as we possibly can. If these allegations are true, how is that consistent with what you guys are?
Well, again, we are looking into these allegations. We take them seriously, and our focus remains on the safety and well-being of children. Hence, we're looking into them and taking it very seriously. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Thank you. On the Commission for the Supreme Court, when President Biden first disclosed this idea, I believe he was still a candidate when he said this, he said he wanted recommendations as to how to reform the court system because, quote, it's getting out of whack. Yet this commission is not going to actually make recommendations.
They'll be doing a report 180 days. That will be released to the public.
But it's a report, but it's not them actually making recommendations to the president.
Well, I'm sure he'll take a look at that report that this diverse group of members are putting together, thinking through over the next 180 days, and it will impact his thinking moving forward.